everybody. Welcome to Monday night's live Stampin. It's been a busy day. We are Monday the 13th of October. Where did I get October from? Of March. And perhaps I'm saying October because it feels like October here in terms of the weather. So Monday the 13th of March here today, and I am joining you all with some new friends tonight. So do say hello as you pop on. I can see a few people are joining right now. If you're watching me back on YouTube, a very happy hello to you all. So Caroline, evening. Crazy how time flies since your retreat. It is. It's gone really quickly, hasn't it? Evening to you, Joanna. I hope you're very well. I am very well myself. I've been at work today. I've had coffee and card this morning, which was really delightful. I had 3 new ladies join me today, which was really special. So it was a full house in a very, very windy building. I thought we were going to blow away at one point. The wind has been crazy today here. Yeah, really, really strong wind. So we've all survived, luckily. A few trees came down in the village. But yeah, all is good here. So I am going to spend a little bit of time crafting with you all tonight. I've got a brand new stamp set and 2 sets of dies on my desk that I've been waiting patiently to get. We've had some shipping problems here in the UK and they should have been here last Monday, but they arrived today, so a week later, and I hope they're worth the wait, so we will see. The products I'm going to use tonight are available in the online exclusives promotion that is live on the Stampin' Up website at the moment. The products I'm using are only available while stocks last, so they're not in any catalogue. They are just available online and they're lots of fun, hopefully. So if you did want to purchase any of those products tonight, you can purchase those through the online store, or you can send me a direct message and I can place that order for you. Don't forget to use the online shopping code if you're shopping online, and you'll get a free gift from me in the post. And then those of you that spend more than £45 will get a free card class from me this month, which is very nice. It's very exciting. It's an Easter Bunny class this month. So let's make a little start. I'm just going to change my camera view. Pop that up there. And let's see what we can see. Oh, a little bit off. Let's just have a little jig around, shall we? Lovely jubbly, that's better. So Joanna finally got her order today as well. What did you order, Joanna? Anything exciting? Right, so I am going to play with today, and I've already put one of these away, so I'm just going to grab it here. So I have got on my desk, I'm just going to put my other light on. It's a wee bit dark. Much better. Still not a great angle though, is it? Better. Evening, Mum. That's a bit better, I think. Let me see what you can see. Yeah, much nicer. Right, okay. So my new friends are Rhinos. I'm obsessed with these. I've been so excited to get them. Look at his little waggy tail and his happy face. Really looking forward to playing with. So this is a new stamp set. It's in the online exclusives. It's a cling stamp set, so you've got the red rubber. I've already gone ahead and put my stickers on these, and you can either purchase it on its own with this as just the stamps, or you can purchase it as a bundle and save yourself 10% by ordering the dies together. And these dies are not just framelit dies, so they will go around the images, but they are also, you've got some addition dies. So we've got a really cute little party hat, we've got some big tropical leaves, we've got some branches for trees, and we've got these really lovely sort of trees that you would see sort of on the plains. So I'm looking forward to using those. And the other thing that I purchased were these. These are the radiating stitching dies, and these look like this. So these are quite big dies. This one here certainly is. So this die, it's got long stitching in that sort of thicker border around the edge, so I'm really looking forward to using that. And I have on my desk some watercolour pencils and some card. So I've got some white mossy meadow and some soft suede. So let's have a little cutting of these things, shall we? So I've got here some white card. I'm going to cut me a couple of card bases to kick us off. Evening to you, Caroline. Hope you're keeping nice and well. So I'm going to cut me 2 card bases. I'm going to do them like this. And then turn and cut at 10.5. So I'm going with white card bases just because white card bases for me are just a little bit easier at the moment. And then I'm going to cut me a little layer so I can cut out some of these dies. Okay, let's put that piece to one side. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut one of those and I'm going to cut one of these. Can I get them both on there? Oh, I might be able to. Look at that, that's quite handy, isn't it? Okay, let's wheel this through my little die machine. Just got my die machine on the side next to me. So let's show you these, shall we? Okay, so we've got our first little shape, and that's a nice solid rectangle. And then we've got this lovely shape. And then we have this one here. Now, what I'm going to do, I want this as a frame rather than a layering piece. So I'm going to put this piece back on there. And I'm going to cut that out as well. So we're going to get 2 for 1 on this one. I always like to cut my dies in white first of all. I don't know why, I think it's just because then they're kind of nice and neutral and you can really see what you're working with. So we now have 2 of those, and then we have this lovely frame, and the stitching is a really nice addition to that. Quite like that. So let's have a little look. Where's my card base? Here's my card base. So this is a standard C6 card, and this sits on that card front really nicely actually. So you've got a nice little border around the edge of the white, and then you've got that lovely area in the middle. And then we've got some of these nice trees. Let's have a little cut of these, shall we? I'm going to cut myself a couple of these branches from this soft suede. Evening, Danny. Oh, Louise's rhinos arrived today. Did you order the rhinos, Louise, or did you just order the frames? These are so lovely. And we've not really had a tree like this before. So I put that one there. They almost look like lightning bolts as well. There's a little idea. I'm going to cut myself 2 more of those. I'm going to do all my die cutting first, hopefully. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And then we want some green for the tops of our trees. So let's just cut ourselves a piece of green. Myself a quarter piece of A4. I didn't order Rhinos, but I wish I did. I got my box of Stampin' white markers. Finally complete your ink blends, pens and re-inkers, so you're ready for the colour refresh. That sounds like a brilliant order. Okay, let's run these through now. Evening, Lucy. That's the word I was thinking of. Savannah. I was thinking about planes. Okay, so there are my little Savannah tree type dies, and they've got this lovely detail in them. Okay, so I've got some trees. I've got some tree tops, and now we need some rhinos, don't we? So let's put my plates to one side and my trimmer, and we want a nice piece of white. So I've got just a piece of white here. Let's just pop these pieces kind of over to the side, and let's do some stamping, shall we? The heart in these dies is really, really nice. You've got a nice little circle as well. Just putting these away before they walk about off my desk. Okay, so let's stamp some cutie little rhinos. Let's have a block. Let's see if I can get them all on this block. 1, 2. Let's stamp those then. We're going to stamp with Memento. Hi Shaz. Thanks for joining us this evening. We're just doing a little bit of stamping. Okay, so I've got upside down rhinos. I've got wonky rhinos. But aren't they lovely? Look at those. Oops. My block just falling over. I really, really like those. So I'm just going to trim a few out. Just make it easier for colouring. So I've got 1 rhino, I've got 2 rhino, and I have 3 rhino. Now I'm going to colour these with some pencils. Pencils are at the moment my absolute go-to colour medium of choice. So these are the watercolour pencils. This is box number 1, and this is box number 2. So box number 1, you've got Real Red, Calypso Coral, Pumpkin Pie, Daffodil Delight, Old Olive, Bermuda Bay, Pacific Point, Rich Razzleberry, Melon Mambo, Early Espresso, Basic Grey, Basic Black and Whisper White. And in assortment number 2, there are 10 pencils, Cherry Cobbler, Flirty Flamingo, Cajun Craze, Crushed Curry, Granny Apple Green, Garden Green, Coastal Cabana, Balmy Blue, Night of Navy and Gorgeous Grape. So they complement each other really, really nicely. Now, if we get we're going to be getting a new colour refresh. So I'm really excited that we may get some new colouring pencils as well. So my little trick for colouring with watercolour pencils. Now I'm not going to use any water with these. I'm going to use these just as colouring pencils. I'm going to use myself a stamping mat. The reason I use a stamping mat is because you don't then get sort of lines where your pencil is on a hard surface. So I'm just going to go over really, really lightly with my grey. Okay. Now when I'm saying lightly, I'm not really applying much pressure at all. I always think when I'm colouring, less pressure is more to start with, because the harder you press, the darker the colour is. And it's the age-old saying of you can add colour, you can't take it away. So I'm going in with my light sort of shading to start us off, and then I'm going to add some sort of definition where I think the darker bits, the shadows may be. So I'm doing a little bit round the tusk and then under the chin, and then I'm just bringing that colour sort of down into where I think it will be. Now, I'm no expert with colouring. I just sort of do what I think feels right, okay? And then I'm going to go back in and just colour over the rest of my Rhino. Now, because I've got this Stampin' mat underneath, I'm getting a really nice texture. Okay, and now I'm going to go in with some black. Don't be afraid to use your darker tones to add in some shadow. I very rarely use just one colour when I'm blending. I do tend to use sort of one or two. Well, I'm just going to go in and colour that little tusky bit in. And then go back over with your light. So it's a similar sort of premise as your blending pens, except the black with the grey acts as your dark tone. I like him, he's coming along quite nicely. Love the tip of using the foam mat with the pencils, it's quite a good one. Now, I wish I'd done a sort of, here's one I made earlier, but I didn't have that much time this evening, so you're just going to have to sit and watch me colour, or pop away, make a drink and come back, and I should have done a little bit more. So he's getting a really nice look to him now. I love his ears, he's so cute. I do love the way that Stampin' Up! Draw their animals. Okay, so I think I'm quite happy with him so far. We just need to do his tusk. Now, what colour is a tusk? I'm thinking I might go in with a bit of a brown. So let's grab the early espresso. Is it that one? It is. Let's have a little look. Now that's quite brown, so I'm just going to do really lightly. And then I'm going to use my white. And the white just sort of smooths all your colour out. I like that. And then the toes. His tail we're going to do brown as well, I think. Lovely. What do we think of Rhino number 1? I quite like him. So we've got Rhino number 1. Let's do Rhino number 2. So again, I'm going to go in with my lighter pressure smoky slate, so the grey, and I'm not really worrying about the lines here, I'm just colouring over the top. some darker shading down here. And don't be afraid to turn your pencil and use the kind of sharper tip, because as your pencil goes blunt, you won't get great definition. So if you want definition, you want to use the sharper end. If you don't want definition, you need to use the softer side. Okay. Okay. That's it. And then let's go in here. Now I'm just going to take the mat away and show you what it looks like without the mat. So you get more sort of pencil lines and you pick up the texture in your desk. It's a bit like when you do a rubbing, you get the texture underneath. So that's why I like to use a little mat. Mum's been colouring with blend pens this afternoon. That sounds good. Oh, you stamped your bunnies, didn't you? That's it. And now let's go in with some darker. It. So that is Rhino number 2. Oh, we haven't done his tusk. Let's do his little tusk. And let's go in with our white. You can also use the blender pen with these watercolour pencils. But I'm just sticking to good old colouring. Sounded very nice, also quite therapeutic watching you colouring, oh bless you. And Mum, I've done 20 bunnies and 60 carrots. Wow, that is a lot of colouring. My heater has just come on. I think it's the temperature's dropping out here. Now obviously you can use these pencils as watercolour pencils. You would just need to make sure that you stamped the images onto watercolour sort of porous card. Whisper White, I wouldn't recommend using Whisper White, because it is not porous, it's not designed for watercolouring, so you wouldn't get a great look. Into some of his pause now. And you fussy cut them all out. Wow. That is a lot of work. But a nice way to spend an afternoon. Let's just even out some of this colour now. And I'm using my pencil, sort of going round in little circles. That's quite sweet. Go over with the white. Are you all still with me tonight? And his toes. This one here, we've got our little birdie. I'm going to colour him in with a bit of crushed curry, I think. Crushed curry is like a browny yellow, so it will go in really nicely with the sort of tones on this card. And I've used that brown there to just bring that alive. That's it. What do you think? I really like those rhinos. Now let's cut all of these out, shall we? And I'm not going to fussy cut, I'm going to use the die. So I've got 1, I've got 2, and I've got 3. Okay, so let's pop these all on here. I'm going to need a little bit of washi tape for this, I think. So I've done 1. And I always think these images look better when they have been cut out. 2. And we want the 3rd, which is this little guy here. You love how jolly the last rhino is. He's so jolly, isn't he, Lucy? I do love a jolly stamp. Let's roll this through. So we have 1 rhino, we have 2 rhinos, and we have 3 rhinos. So all that work for our 3 little rhino guys. Look how cute they are. I absolutely love those. I'm going to pop them on my stamp set, which is what I like to do. I'll obviously colour some more of these, but it just brings that stamp set alive, I think. It makes all the difference to see them coloured in, and I will keep them in my stamp set like that. I'll do some others, but I will keep them there. So now let's do some card making, shall we? Let's put my mat to one side. So I've already gone ahead and cut my card base. I've got a white card base here, and I've cut myself a frame. Now this frame here has been cut from the new Radiating Rectangles, is it? Radiating Stitches dies. That's a mouthful, is it? I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending on that, I think. So what have I got here? That's got a bit of crumb cake on, I think. Let's do a little bit of crumb cake blending, shall we? And this should just make this frame pop a little bit. I really need to clean my brush. please. Okay, I'm gonna just go around a little bit again. I'm just gonna scrunch it a bit, I think. I want it to look a bit oldie worldy sort of thing. Okay. Right. Now we want to do something in that background, don't we? So I'm just going to lay that on. Push it down a bit. I'm just going to mark myself a little mark where that is there, and I'm going to use some of this grass here. And I'm going to stamp this in garden green. Oh, got a little thing flying around, so I want to stamp this so that it just sort of overlaps, and I'm just mindful of the little marks I put at the bottom. Okay, now where is my green? Let's just go in and colour. I'm just colouring quite roughly. That's it. I'm going to do one sort of detailed card, and I'm going to do one not so detailed. Right. Oh, I like it a lot. So we've got that like so. And now we can put our little rhino in there, but I feel like we need a little bit of scenery in the top. So I'm just going to grab me another blending brush. This time I've got a little bit of pool party. So that is going on there like so. I'm going to add me another little line there, and there, and there. So I know those are my parameters to put my sky in, okay? And I just want this to be quite light. I don't want to do it too dark. Just going to carry that down into the grass. Much better. Okay. Now I've got some trees here. Now these would work really well with the adhesive sheets, really well. But in the meantime we're going to have to use a little bit of this. Come on, come out. Oh, no worries, Sue. So I've got that like that, and I'm going to put this one on. Look at that tree. I'm going to go with a little one actually, this one here. One, where's my frame gone? Here's my frame. Okay, hang on. That's better. I don't really want it hanging over that side. So now I'm going to put my frame on. And I have really, really scrunched my frame. So that is going to go on about there. And now I can kind of push it down a little bit. Okay, my hands are a bit sticky. If your hands get really sticky and horrible, just use some antibac and it kind of takes the gluiness away. Now, what did I do with my little rhino? Where has he gone? My little rhino has run away. Now, here he is. Okay, I'm liking it. It's like a picture in a frame. It is indeed. So we've got that guy. We've got that guy. Or we've got this one. I think I like this one that's running around having the time of his life. What do you reckon? I think it needs to be that one. So now let's put this on. So we've done that. Now, the third one, yeah, I agree completely. So we've done that. Now we just need a little sentiment. Hello friend, you're built tough, hope your birthday is wild, it's a great day. I'm going to use it's a great day because that's a really nice sentiment for this. Where's me a block? And I'm going to heat emboss this onto some black because I think that will just be a nice little lift. Get some black card. Lovely, here we go. Rhino looks cute. He is cute, isn't he? Okay, let's do a little bit of heat embossing. So I've got black card. Let's stick this into our heat embossing. Nice. It's a really good sentiment. I love the font on this. It's really modern. Now let's give this a little heat, shall we? Lovely. Okay, let's grab our little trimmer. Let's trim this down. It's a great day. I like that. Let's have a few little dimensionals. Okay, so that is my first little card all done. I really like that. I actually really like this frame in the end. It's turned out quite nicely and I quite like the texture. I need to clean my blending brushes, which is why I've got all these sort of smudges. But I actually quite like that. Told you, Sophie. I spotted the Rhino on the first day and there he is. So I just need to do an insert inside. So let's get me a piece of white. And I'm going to do 13.9 by 9.5 as my insert. That's it. So that is my first card made, but of course I have some more little Rhino frames here, so let's do something with that. So where is my card base? I think I've used my card base. Let's do this one here. So this is 14.9 and I'm going to score at 10.5. Thanks, Joanna, that's really sweet of you. Right, so we have this one now, and I have a lovely little frame that I've got a lovely little Rhino friend, and let's build one of these, shall we? This tree is just beautiful, look at it. Isn't that lovely? I'm just sticking that on like so, and that's given us a really lovely tree. So I'm going to, what am I going to do? Can I emboss this? No, I'm not going to emboss it. I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. Let's have hello friend. So that's on there like so, and then let's have some of this stamping in Sahara sand, shall we? Turn it around the right way. I'm just following this round. Okay. So we've got a hello friend in the background, and that's really faint, you can't really see it, but that's okay actually. Let's add this little layer. And I'm going to put my tree on. Is that straight? That's better. Let's put this little tree on. I've done that. These mini dimensionals come in so handy. So nice. I love this tree. And I've got this little guy here. Or we've got this little guy. Shall we have that little guy? Now, I feel like we might need another tree. That's not a tree, is it? That's one of those, isn't it? Oh dear, Stacey, where's your brain gone? Where's my bit of green gone? Okay, let's find my bit of green I had. Here's my bit of green. I'm going to cut out just another little tree. That's more like a rock thing, isn't it, that one? Oh, no worries, Sandra. Always appreciate you popping on. Let's just move these pieces and cut me another one of these trees because that's actually a rock. Here we go. So we want to add some dimensionals to this. Turn that round. That's it. I'm going to put me a dimensional there. That is a little bit wonky. That's better, isn't it? I want my rhino to sit about there. Does he need a little rock? I think he might need a little rock. Have I got any grey granite card? Let's have a look. Do have grey granite. So this is my grey granite, and let's cut a rock out because it's not a tree, it's a rock. I've used all the dies tonight. My desk is in a real pickle. I think this one might be my favourite. Now, I'm just going to go sort of around the edges with this. To make it a bit sort of grubby looking. How are we doing? Are we all still there? Okay. So let's put this on. And now let's put little Rhino on, shall we? He is going to go on with a couple of pads. Nice little bit of layering. These mini pads are so handy. That's it. Okay, so we've just got a sentiment left to do, which is here. So we've got "You're stronger than you think." Hello friend. I'm going to use You're Stronger Than You Think, I think. It's looking good. Thank you very much. Where's the trimmer? Let's cut me a little strip of this. I'm going to go 1.5 centimetres, I think. And we want a little block. A little bit of Versamark. So that's straight. It's not bad. Let's have a look. Let's add some little powder to it. You can always tell when it's done because it goes really shiny and bright. Okay, let's give this a little snip. Snip it down a little bit. I feel like that needs a little snip across the top as well. Right, when you're doing this, if you just want to snip a little bit but you've not got a lot to hold on to, use a little bit of washi tape to keep it in place. That's better. It's a good little tip, that one. You're stronger than you think. I'm just going to put me some little dimensionals at the bottom of this. I like it. I like it a lot. Then we just need a little piece inside. So let's do 13.9 by 9.5 for my inner piece. Have a little bit of Hello Friend in the meantime. And that was Sahara Sand, wasn't it? Okay, so we've got that in there, and I don't really want to stick him inside there because he feels like quite a lot to put inside. I'm going to put one of these little birdies. That'll be a block. There we go, and let's give him a little colour. So for that one I used crushed curry and a bit of early espresso, didn't I? And there we go. There we have card number 2. So let's just recap. Let me have a little clear down. So we have used, or I have used, the lovely Rhino Ready stamp set, which is in the online exclusives promotion. I've got my first card here, which I really like. It's a really cute little scene. We've created a little background with the grass stamp, and we've used the dies to create one of the trees. And then on the second card we've got You're Stronger Than You Think, and he's a lovely little rhino sitting there contemplating his life, bless him. And I've got one little rhino left, which is here, and I am going to decide what to do with him after. I'll probably keep it quite simple again, but I've got a couple of little of these pieces left, which he could make something. I could just do something really simple with him. And that's it for me tonight, guys. Thank you so much for spending nearly an hour with me, and quite a large part of that was spent colouring. I've coloured my rhinos in with the watercolour pencils. You can watch back on the replay how I did that if you're interested. And as I mentioned at the start, everything that I've used is available to purchase from my online store. You can find that at staceymarsh.co.uk. Don't forget to use the online shopping code for a free gift and card kit. And I will hopefully be live with you all again on Wednesday over on YouTube at 8:30. I do have a governor's meeting, so I'm hoping to be back in time. And I will hopefully see you all there. So have a great week, and I look forward to speaking to you all very soon. Bye for now.